Hello and welcome to the workshop. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you very, very much. If you are new to the channel and you have not already done so, consider subscribing, especially if you love sneakers, because we upload a lot of sneaker videos. Buckets, please define a lot for the people.
Often.
Very, very often. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mr. Foamer Simpson. When I am not here in this illustrious cascade, we'll call it, of sneaker boxes, you can find me frolicking around on those other platforms. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that thumbs up button. Really does go a long way, helps the channel continue to grow. Also lets us know what kind of content, what kind of sneakers you want to see. The last thing I want to mention before we dive into today's pair is uncivilizedstore.com. Buckets, who is behind the camera, and myself, we have a clothing brand. Uncivilizedstore.com is where we sell said clothing. Almost all of it is made entirely in the USA. A lot of the t-shirts are printed by hand. We got some cool stuff in very limited quantities on the website right now, so you can check that out. We will throw a link in the description of this video for your convenience. And with that said, Buckets, anything to add, or are we diving in?
Diving in.
3, 2, 1, bang, bang. This is the Air Jordan 5 Burgundy. These released a couple of days ago, August 29th to be exact, and retail was $220. A lot of people have been asking about these, even though they are clearly flying under the radar. I walked into a local sneaker spot down here in the Tampa area, and they still had all sizes available. Easy for me, no complaints at all. Now, I know a lot of people have been asking me about this pair specifically because a lot of you know Burgundy is my favorite color. Burgundy boys, gang, gang, gang. You know I had to do it. I would have had these day of release or maybe even a little bit early, but we were dealing with a hurricane down here in Florida. Hope everyone stayed safe, by the way. This is a classic Jordan, in my opinion. I remember when they first released back in 2006. At the time, I could not afford to get a pair, but it's always been one of my favorite Jordan 5 colorways. Personally, I should also mention I love the Jordan 5, just generally speaking, and around the time these originally released, it was just a good era for the Jordan 5, in my opinion. You had the olive, which is a classic. You had the green beans. I love those. A lot of people like the lasers. I was never as big on those. And then, of course, you have these all released in that same 2006, 2007 window. I gotta say, I love the way these turned out. Right out of the box, it's just such a beautiful shade of burgundy, really, really soft to the touch, and it just kind of has a luxurious feel and look to it. As you can see, the entire sneaker is pretty much dressed in that burgundy suede. You can see that color change, so lovely. And then you've got some of these gray accents as well. You see it on the laces, you see it on the ankle collar, the back of the tongue with that Air Jordan branding, of course. The front of the tongue is dipped in that 3M sauce. I love that about the Jordan 5. It's just such an iconic look from the front of the sneaker. I mean, when you can see the tongue just bling from across the street, I just, Mutabella, it's so good. You got a Jumpman logo front and center. Of course, the lace lock as well, clear netting on each side of the sneaker. burgundy midsole with that dark gray on the teeth. Another classic Jordan 5 feature, and you can see the burgundy speckling as well. You've got the air bubble on the heel, Jumpman logo embroidered on the back of the sneaker. You've also got this gray contrast stitching, which definitely helps break things up a little bit because the sneaker is pretty much one color. That contrast stitching is just kind of a nice touch. It makes it so it's not too monotonous. Buckets, can you say monotonous in regard to a sneaker?
I mean, I guess you could. I would not do it in reference to these sneakers.
You know what I mean with the contrast stitching? Breaks it up.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what monotonous means. I mean, I understand, yeah.
Okay. They capped it all off with the icy bottoms, partly icy anyway. You've got the Jumpman up top and the Jordan typed out or carved into the middle here. It's just such a beautiful sneaker. Overall, I love them. I'm sure you can tell that. People who know me, you knew I was going to love these. You just knew that. I mean, a Jordan 5, yes, sign me up. Burgundy, yes, sign me up. So it was kind of the perfect recipe. I almost feel like Jordan Brand, I'm just going to throw this out there, feel like they made this colorway just for me. Like I mentioned, in 2006, I could not afford a pair, and now I can, and I feel very fortunate for that. But I do think that's one of the reasons that these are sitting on shelves and sitting on websites and that they haven't sold out, is because 220 bucks, Buckets, these were like 250 after taxes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, and you've talked about this in previous videos, especially more recently. We don't really get into that whole thing with, inventory and how many pairs were made and the price points and this and that, but $250, that is a lot of money for a Jordan Retro.
For sure.
Especially when they're not limited, especially when they don't have resale value. When you just want to go in and you want to lace them up and wear them, it's like, damn, $250. That's a lot of bread.
Yeah.
Especially because they release something different or different pairs every single week. It's almost hard to keep up. But I do love these. It is one of my favorite Jordan 5s of all time. Definitely on the short list. Buckets, I'm just trying to think. You probably got to have the metallic on there. That's probably your pick, I would guess.
Yeah, that or the Laney.
Okay. Laney's up there. Yeah, Laney's a good call. For me, it might be the Grapes. I love those. The Raging Bull is a pair I love. But these are really up there. I think these Grape, Raging Bull are probably my personal favorites. I just really, really dig these. Creme de la creme is what I'm going to call them. That's the group of Jordan 5 colorways that I'm putting these in. The creme de la creme. So I am giving these a perfect score. 10 out of 10. I just wanted to precursor that. Precursor, good word?
Sure.
I wanted to precursor that with, a little bit of a top of the mountain ranking list kind of deal. Remember, this is just my opinion. I love these. Clearly, a lot of people don't because they are sitting on shelves. I understand they are not the Off-White 5. Don't get me wrong. I love those as well. I understand it's not some hyped up collab or some hyped up colorway, but these just resonate with my spirit. Buckets, I know you're probably going to let me down here. Scale of 1 to 10. It's your turn. I've given my...
creme de la creme speech.
Yeah, try to get a little dramatic with it.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I'm not going to let you down. These are a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
Maybe a 9.5. Yeah, these are awesome.
Wow, you're into them.
Yeah, I mean, you called them monotonous earlier.
No, I didn't say they were monotonous. I said the contrast stitching broke up the monotony.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow, you're trying to twist my words around. I see what you're doing.
No, but basically, here's the deal with these. If you were... basically aware when these came out, like we were, and not able to get them.
Right.
For us, they have a lot of nostalgia.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, Jordan Retros in general, and a lot of you have brought this up too in the comments and stuff like that. These Jordan Retros are very nostalgia based. Now, sure, maybe the Off-White 5 isn't, or a pair like that, or Travis Scott's, but there's no question whether you had a pair back in the day and you're like, oh, I remember having those, and that makes you want another pair, or you were like, damn, I love those, but I couldn't get them, and now I can. That definitely factors into it.
For sure. Like for me, the green bean. I couldn't get those. I didn't have those, but several kids I knew did have them. Creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme. Oh, you're throwing those in the creme de la creme. Okay.
No, not really. I think these are better than those.
Okay.
But my point is what I just said, but also $250 is expensive.
Yeah.
So it's tough. We call that a seesaw where I come from.
It's a lot of De Niro. $250
There's
is
a
lot.
fulcrum point. You know, there's different things.
All right, Buckets is getting scientific on me. Leave a comment below. Let us know, how do you feel about these? How do you feel about this colorway? How do you feel about the Jordan 5? How do you feel about Jordan retros right now? Obviously, we've talked about it in previous videos, but it is interesting to see retro after retro just kind of sit on shelves. So, man, the Palomino Jordan 1 is dropping. Buckets, you think those are going to sell out. I don't.
If those don't sell out, I'll be very surprised, and I think that Jordan has to figure some stuff out.
Okay, all right. Buckets is giving some business advice to a huge sneaker brand. There you go. Let us know how you feel in the comments below. Always love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. You are very, very appreciated. We will be back tomorrow, mañana, same time, same place, right here at the workshop with a brand new sneaker for your head top. I got nothing else. Buckets, anything from you, sir? Any architectural, any life advice?
No.
Science, mathematics?
No.
You're all good.
I said what I wanted to say.
You've said your piece.
Yeah.
Adios.